making it stable. I just wanted to know, one, how did you manage to, like, how stable was it, one? Two, in terms of the use of the material now, were you using it as a filtered membrane? Because you can actually make a filter, which is just a membrane, then you use it like that, or you are using it as particle, then you use it as an extra for extraction. Like which one? Just
let me begin from the last one. We never synthesized a membrane. We synthesized fine-grained particles. And these fine-grained particles are insoluble in water. Now, I wish I could have shown you the strength studies which we did using the Helmholtz-Coulomb failure theorem from engineering. The material is extremely stable, both in wet and dry conditions. Even if I gave you on your hands and you applied pressure, it will not disintegrate. Chitosan had two functions. One, it was helping us as a binding agent to encapsulate the nanoparticles. Number two, with the amine groups in the chitosan, it's able now to attract the positively charged contaminants in water. Thank you.
Quick one as well. I thank you for the nice presentation, by the way. It was really good and inspiring that you are actually making steps ahead. Two quick questions. I understand that there are quite a number of disparities when it comes to assessing toxicities nano. Did you assess the toxicity of the nano that you are using to purify water? Maybe that could be one. Then the second one could be that, you know, as the more you store the nano material, they actually tend to aggregate, and that makes them more toxic. So was this observed in your current study, or how did you overcome that? Thank you.
Lastly, the question that you've finished with, let me begin from the first one, toxicity. Yes, we did. How did we do this? It's through leaching studies. We will measure the level of, for example, aluminium, titanium, zirconium, and iron before adsorption. Then we measure after adsorption the levels.
I was wondering whether you actually used animal models, because, you know, I'm the one who's going to drink the water.
Oh, he's talking about, did we use animal models? No, we didn't use animal models. And I remember when Professor said, you know too much about something small. Now there is an idea coming in. Did we use animals? Now maybe biologists, with the funding from the university, is something we can consider. Thank you. Yes, Prof.
Just a quick question. There is a kind of relationship between arsenic and iron. Wherever you find one, you find the other. And when you find iron, it either is going to release or mimic or hamper the arsenic. So what you have iron in your nanoparticle. Did you see any interference there? Did you see preference for iron? Because how well encapsulated is that? Because, you know.
Prof, if we go back to that picture, there's the TerraFit block, which also, because of patent issues, I may not be able to disclose so much on it. One of the reasons or one of the functions that that block does is the arresting of iron. Because for them, they exist, let me say simultaneously, iron and zinc. So, not iron and arsenic.
Arsenic.
Yes. Iron is arrested or reduced in terms of what? Concentration by the block, which also its own procedure for doing what? For synthesizing it. So it is reduced, and that is why the one that we have is very low in our water. That is the effluent or treated water. Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. Said that the fluoride levels were reduced to WHO limits. Yes. Did you test on the groundwater where we have multiple ions that can interfere with the performance of these nanoparticles?
Yes, we did that, and I showed results from Gilgil.
Okay.
One of the counter ions or competing ions that we have when it comes to using of this material is chloride. Chloride really competes for active sites with fluoride. because they have got more or less what? Same size, not silicates, hydrogen carbonate and carbonates also they tend to. But from our material, the impact was not that much as for other materials in literature.
Another concern.
Sorry, I had a follow-up question, but he took over. So you know that, so in that iron arsenic, if you have iron and iron is very easily either oxidized or reduced, so when it goes into iron oxide, the arsenic is mobilized. So have you tested, have you used these in an area where you have, and you will have it, have you treated water from an area where you have both iron and arsenic in present? Because it's most likely going to be the case.
Yes, we have done, and we got samples from Bangladesh. In the Kenyan scenario, we did not manage, because we are having in the northern part, we reached a place called Karigi, and we could not access it further because of security reasons. So we relied on the results from Bangladesh.
What did you see?
Of course, iron levels were high before filtration. But after using this nanomaterial, the iron levels went down. But for the sake of this presentation, I only dealt with arsenic. But one thing also I wish to say is about when we are working on this research, I know Omanka is working on something close to this. Depending on the metal oxide you're using to synthesize the nanoparticles, you can find that you can either remove comfortably arsenate or you can remove arsenite. But more often than not, you'll find that it's easy to remove arsenite than arsenate. So that's also the challenges, and we need to maybe to upscale in terms of our research. Maybe, Prof, if you can be able to help us from your lab, we can synthesize these materials there. Thank you so much. Dr. Calvin.
I just want you to help me understand one of the puzzles which I've had for some time about now that you have mentioned the northern part of the country. You remember sometimes back they talked about the aquifer at Loitkipi, where they said there's water there which can help run the country for 70 years. And I'm just wondering, what really went on? Is it like, then later they talked about the cost of, I don't know, purification of the water, just from a layman point of view, because, you know, I'm in a very different field. What is happening in that place?
Let me say this in low tones. And I've got good institutional memory for that thing. I was working then with the Kenya Water Institute, and we were part of that thing. Unfortunately, it was just hyped. That water is not there. It's like the oil in Ngamia 1 and all those things. There wasn't. Yeah. And actually, much of this contamination, northern part, again in low tones. You know what happened? For those who are old, like, let me see who's old here, maybe Mheshimiwa Wanyancha, the Kitui, Prof, maybe Mzee Guto and myself, we remember there was an issue of depositing of, you know, those materials. Prof, you remember? And it was associated with the former Interior Minister, the late George Saitoti and Nicholas Biwott. Watu walikuja walikuwa wamevaa coat za white, and they dumped those things kwa wells. Those are the fruits that we are reaping today. Thank you so much.
Okay, let's clap for him. So thank you very much. I think what we have now is at least we need to increase the sugar levels. And I'm informed that it is ready, so we can just go there. We spend 15 minutes, then we continue with the presentations. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for the presenters. Let's all break. We have, 15 minutes? I'll ask Mzee Guto to be our timekeeper. Guto, if nobody's back by 15 minutes, wavute.